Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, Thekingleeway. My name is King, and today's title is Korea's Unforgiving Culture. And I wonder, for most of you subscribers, you're going, why am I talking about Korea's unforgiving culture? Okay, it has to tie into something because currently, for those that do know me, I am now currently in Cebu, Philippines, which I have about one more week before I have to head back to South Korea. Now, the thing with Korea, it is an unforgiving culture. And I'm going to go back to 1991. So I brought my iPad here and I'm going to show you a little video of a K-pop artist back in 1991. So bear with me and I'll just do a few seconds clip here. So let me get it in play. Okay, so the song is called Rebecca. So Yang Jun-il is the name. The thing is, yeah, you do see him as a Korean K-pop star from 1991. But he's really a Korean American. And back in that time in Korea, you didn't put English lyrics in your songs. Compared to, if you know anything about K-pop today, half the songs are in English. Half the songs are, or almost some of the songs are all in English. And it's not even frowned upon today. But back then, for Yang Jun-il, he took punishment. Because 1991, it's 3 years after the Seoul Summer Olympics happened. It's the start of the pension system, which in comparison to the United States is called Social Security. So there was no Social Security or pension system in Korea before 1988. So, and what happened to Yang Jun-il? He was in Korea from 1991, 94. That was his music career. And the Korean immigration wouldn't extend his visa because back then we didn't have the F4 Gyopo visa, which I have today because that's another home base I have is South Korea. So an immigration officer says, I do not like guys like him. He lives a better life in America and blah, 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 So there was just that general hate for guys that were born in America, living the American life, the American dream at the time. Yeah, there was a lot of hate for it at the time. And of course, on the back end, when I'm in America, living in Southern California, when I used to attend Korean churches, sometimes there was some animosity between native Koreans and Koreans. Like a side note, when I went to a Korean church in Los Angeles, I went into one service with a bunch of high school kids, right? Because I was in high school at the time, and my buddy's like, King, where are you going? I'm like, going to the service. Isn't this where the youth service is? He goes, no, that's for Koreans. We're going to the English version of the church. We got our own English. I'm like, why are we so segregated? So it didn't dawn on me, what the sentiments were back in the days. The native Koreans, and the nasty name we would call them is fobs, fresh off the boats. And sometimes that's like the negative language, when I'm in Koreatown, when we describe a native Korean like, oh yeah, what's up with that girl? Yeah, that girl's dating that fob over there. That's kind of the language as Korean Americans would kind of say about native Koreans, Yeah, or a lot of times like, oh, especially if, we're all drinking, oh, yeah, look at that fob over there. So yeah, there was some sentiment back in the days, about it. So I'm not saying it completely happened, but it's something I experienced. So yeah, at the time, English was not as big in Korea at the time. There wasn't too many English schools. It was just very slowly because Japan's the one that pushed it in the early, 80s and 90s. And then Korea started to come along in the 90s to 2000. And now it's a booming industry. And that leads me to where I am in Cebu, because I am located in IT Park. Right here in IT Park, there are lots of language schools that teach English. And one of the biggest clients are Koreans and Japanese students coming to practice English. So it's the big boom here. And it's been this way here in the Philippines. They all come here because why? It's much cheaper. You know, they don't have to pay the Filipino teachers a lot compared to what they would have to pay me in Korea. So that's one of the things. It's unforgiving. Now, going back to, Young Jung Il, what happened after 30 years? Well, here's the revelation when Korea's unforgiving culture. He is currently back in Korea because what happened is those youngsters that followed him in the 90s, 30 years later, they're like, ajumas and ajishis like me, older, women, older men. They wanted to see him. So what happened is on a show in KBS, they brought him back and he performed and they were so happy to see him. I mean, it was very heartwarm felt for me to see this. They said, hey, we're sorry that the society treated you that way. We welcome you back. Don't change a thing. And the good thing about Yang Jung-il, he didn't get bitter about it. He didn't get angry about it. He's just happy to be accepted back into Korean society. Now, I just want to bring this up. The job he was doing in the United States in Florida, he was working as a server all this time. So his plan was to just come do the show and go back to Florida to his restaurant job. But unfortunately, right now, he's been really busy in Korea. And the last time he was put on that show was in December, and we're already in February, so it was 2 months ago. So it was nice to see him. So his big hit song Rebecca was the big thing, So that was one of the things. So I really glad he's back to Korea and he's getting to perform for his fans again. So it took 30 years. Which could be, it's such an unforgiving culture, and with some of the the issues in K-pop right now, anything you do, it's really frowned upon and really judged upon. I'm not saying because it's happening with actors in America, but in Korea it's just more severe. It's an unforgiving culture at times. So that's one of the things. But today, as you can see, 30 years later, K-pop is just blowing up with mostly English. It's trying to get globalized. And Yang Jung-il looks alike with today's star. There's a star named G-Dragon. They look alike. And G-Dragon, he kind of does his own thing. And Yang Jung-il was doing his own thing in the 90s, which was not the same as what, Korean type of music is. So that was the enlightening moment for me to see. So So by the way, if any of you enjoyed any of this content, please like, subscribe to my channel, and add any comments that you experienced dealing with, Korea's unforgiving culture. So wherever you are, I want to wish everybody a good day. Bye.